What's good, guys? So I'm talking about five cards that I absolutely hate in this post Lightning Overdrive format. Some of this doesn't have to pertain to Lightning Overdrive, but these are just cards as I keep playing in this format that just I despise. I think some of these cards need to be addressed in the ban list, so hopefully that happens. And the ban list should be by the end of this month. We should have a list, and it'll probably go into effect for July. And I know a lot of tournaments are happening in real life and online. I know LCS is also going to happen this weekend. So hopefully we see something. Hopefully Konami pays attention. But let's get on with the list. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys hate. But I'm going to put this in order. This is number 5 because I am going to be a little biased whenever I do pieces like this where it's like my opinion. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit biased. I try to take as much out of it as possible, but there's always going to be something like that. And the fifth card that I hate the most, Red Reboot. So this card has been the bane of my existence. I recently just went to locals and one of my boys goes normal summon a zoo monster, make Borbo. I have 5 set and you have no idea how many crazy back rows. I was playing an Eldritch deck. I had like Imperial Order. I was just like, oh, I'm safe from Twin Twister. I'm safe from Lightning Storm. I had like Skill Drain, Strike, everything besides the Judgment. The only card that interacts with Red Reboot. Red Reboot, you pay half your life points, negate a trap card, set it back. They have a chance to set something from their deck, and then that's it. No more trap cards for the turn. And then you know what happens, especially with a format like this where zoo cards are just running around. People are gonna make a 6 material Zeus blow you out. It's so annoying. It's so frustrating. I think Red Reboot, especially if you're playing zoo cards, it's so annoying. And even in Dragon Link, because they can just kill you the turn that they Red Reboot. I feel like the decks that play Red Reboot always just kill that turn or set up a field where your trap cards don't matter. That extra trap card you got doesn't matter. And the thing I hate most about this is there's so many few cards that actually interact with Red Reboot in the format. Yeah, there's weird cards that can interact with it, but I'm talking about what we play right now in the current format in June. The only card I can think of is probably Judgment or your own Red Reboot. So I'm not trying to Red Reboot their Red Reboot. That sounds crazy. It's a 1. It's at 1, and it's so sacky. I hate it. I think a lot of trap players will say it. They hate this card, and it's so weird because we have Duster has its own problems, but I'm not going to want Duster to be like any. I'm not going to mention Duster as like one of the hated cards because there's counterplay to Duster. Anti-Spell and Judgment both answer it. There's even orders now in the format, and I know how people feel about Floodgates, but I'm just saying there's answers to it. There's cards that actually interact with it. There's so few cards that interact with Red Reboot, and there's so many cards that actually interact with trap decks. So like this idea that oh we need Red Reboot at 1 because traps are too strong. Trap decks are not strong. Trap decks are usually a rogue deck. So I hate this card so much. We have Evenly, Storm, Duster. The list goes on. Pankatrops. The list goes on. But this is one of the cards I hate the most. I know I'm a trap player, and I know a lot of you guys are. And I'm sure you guys have seen it, Red Reboot, and then Borbo attacks, and Zeus for 5. So that's number 5. Number 4, Mystic Mine. I know I've been talking about it, and I know I played in a lot of decks. And I don't play this card because I like to. I play this card because I like winning games. I like winning and having unfair cards in my deck. And I think a lot of people can agree with me that sometimes we play these cards not because we're trying to be degenerate, but we're trying to win games. We're trying to make some of our weaker decks have an easy way to win the game. And that's what Mystic Mine is. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you literally just win the game. You skill drain everything, nothing can attack, and you can either attempt to deck them out or you could do the same thing I just talked about, normal summon Borbo, direct attack, Zeus everything away if you want to do that. But most of the time, if you play this game 1, you're going to just deck them out. And the thing that's annoying about this card, it's at 3, and we have Metaverse, and we have Terraforming, and right now in the format, one of the decks actually gets FTK'd by Mystic Mine, which is very annoying. So I could definitely see this card actually being touched by Konami, maybe to 1 or something, or maybe banned. It should probably be banned, but maybe they won't go overboard. But just because it's also hindering one of their newer products, the Tri-Brigade deck, so much because it's not. I don't think it's fun just activating Mystic Mine and FTKing somebody, but that's literally what's happening right now in the format, and people just do not have the space to play these spell and trap removal. Cosmic just does not feel high impact right now, especially because Dragon Link doesn't care about this card. So Dragon Link doesn't care, but that doesn't mean your other decks are like don't care. Like Mystic Mine literally just steals games. I think this card is one of the most hated cards in the game right now. But this is gonna be my number 4th card, and I know I played, but just because I played does not mean I condone this type of card design. It's very unfair, but I'm trying to win games. As long as this is legal, I'll be playing it just like how everybody else plays some of these other cards on the list that should probably be limited or banned. So, next card, Brigade Revolt. Yeah, like obviously they're not going to touch it, but that doesn't change the fact that I can hate this card. And I'm sure a lot of you guys, if you're playing in this current format right now, you know how rampant Brigade is. I think I was wrong in saying that there's going to be no Brigade hits. I think there are going to be some indirect hits, maybe not to the engine itself, not to a Revolt itself, but something else. But this card is literally a soul charge. From the banish pile or your graveyard, you summon back as many as you want, and Link Summon for Shirag, which is going to banish a card and add you a card when it goes to graveyard. Super annoying. And the Nerval's triggering, the kit's triggering. They're going to send cards and add cards to your hand. I've just never seen a in archetype trap card so crazy. I don't remember the last time I saw something so crazy. The fact that one of the Link monsters just searches this now, it's so absurd. There's so many times where I'm playing against Brigade, we're hand trapping each other back and forth, but they somehow randomly just drew a Revolt. They have their graveyard stacked, and the game is over right then and there, because there's just not enough other archetypes other than maybe Dragon Link actually have spells or traps that are on this level. But I would argue Brigade Revolt is probably one of the strongest in archetype trap cards. It's so annoying. I hate this card, especially in this format where everybody, I feel like, is just trying to play Brigade. So annoying. Let me know if I'm the only one that thinks this, but I think Brigade Revolt is disgusting. I hate this card. I would probably put this at number 1 just because it's so prevalent everywhere. But there's some other cards I want to talk about. So the other card, there's also going to be a Brigade card and a Zoo card, Fire Formation Tanky. So this recently just got semi-limited to OCG, and this one, I hate this card for many reasons. It's literally reinforcements of the army, but it's at 3. We're now at a point where Beast Warriors are so good. Most of the typings just have really good cards, so stop putting search cards stop keeping search cards at 3 that are just searching generic cards. Like, that's not cool. The fact that when Brigade drops Tanky, it feels so oppressive because you don't know. Every single time they drop Tanky, I swear, if I have Ash, I'm contemplating, do I just Ash this? Because it's so annoying when they start putting things in the graveyard already. But I know ashing this is probably not correct, but it always feels like they have Tanky, and if they have Tanky, that means they have Rat or Fractal, or they drew one or the other. The consistency of Brigade and even the Zudex, like the pure Zudex, I think it's very annoying. I think Brigade, if there was to be a hit, Tanky is probably going to be the hit. I would probably like to see this card at 1, just like the other search cards like Terraforming, Reinforcements of the Army. I'm sure there's other ones I'm not thinking about, but this is going to be my second most hated card right now just because of how generic it is. And sometimes people forget, like, the most annoying cards are the cards that are so generic, that have been around a mainstay for so long. And then, like, this card just does not need to be there. It's so annoying now that we actually have such a strong Beast Warrior deck. Even back in the day when Zoo was such a strong deck, I feel like even in that format, Tanky was an argument to be hit. But now, or even in Luna Light format, there's been so many formats where Beast Warriors are crazy. So Tanky is definitely one of my most hated cards. And then the last card I want to talk about that's one of my most hated cards, and this card is something that I missed on all my banlist videos, and I've had a chance to think about it. I've had a chance to play against a bunch of Dragon decks, and the cards that I hate the most right now in the current format is a card from Dragon Link, and it's the Baby Dragons, both of them. We'll go with both of them. And I originally said, let's hit Chaos Space or let's hit Quick Launch. But no, I actually, after listening to a lot of people, I actually think these are the cards that need to be hit. You don't need to hit Striker Dragon. You don't need to hit LP, because I think Dragon is just going to survive no matter what you hit. But the most oppressive cards have to be White Dragon Wyvern Buster and Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. It feels like if these cards are resolving, I swear, like, you are going to just lose the game. Why were these cards even put to 1 just for Chaos Space to come out? And I'm going to backtrack on the Chaos Space being limited, because I don't think it even makes sense for Konami, because I think they have the CR Chaos Space, they have different rarity Chaos Space, maybe they can reprint it, and Chaos Space can actually search other cards for other archetypes, other decks can play the Chaos Space, but most decks are just Dragon Link that are playing White Dragon, Wyvern Buster, and Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. And I think Chaos Space is generic, and this is a cool card as long as you're not searching broken cards. And it feels like whenever Chaos Space is in the deck, you're only searching white or black. And because of the interaction that you have, where you could put one back, search it back again, draw 1 card, it's literally like a +4 off of 1 Chaos Space resolving, or 1 White Dragon or Black Dragon resolving. I think this is probably my most hated cards, and I know there's going to be a little bit biased. Let me know what you guys think. are like the most annoying cards to deal with in the current format. A lot of this is going to be related to the meta. I didn't have random cards. I didn't have like FTK cards like that, but it does feel like White Dragon, Wyvern Buster, and Black Dragon Collapse Serpent are FTK. So I put them together, and I think I will backtrack on the Chaos Space being limited or banned, and I want to see just these cards go because they've been in the format for so freaking long. So those are my top 5 most hated cards. I'll go through it really quick. Red Reboot 5, Mystic Mine 4, Tri-Brigade Revolt 3, Tanky 2, and then the Baby Dragons as my most hated cards. It just feels so sacky when they have these cards, and I think Dragon Link is still the best deck. I think Tri-Brigade is just very popular right now, so that's why I put a few of the Tri-Brigade cards in here, but I don't think Tri-Brigade actually is as strong as how strong Dragon Link is. It's just like the flavor of the month, the second best deck kind of thing. So let me know what cards you guys hate. Like, comment, subscribe, and maybe we see some of these cards in the ban list in July. Stay tuned for more. Peace.